I don't know, but it was a beautiful love story between a brother and sister, and they were like, I don't know, like just coming of age, like 11 and 13, something like that. And I just
we're back.
French movies again. Love them. Okay, so now we're for you, George.
Let's see.
The Last Duel.
The Last Duel. I'm going to read this because it was.
Well, my notes.
You gotta get
my notes. Here we go. So The Last Duel is based on a 2004 book, The Last Duel, a true story of trial by combat in medieval France by Eric Jaeger.
So don't you have to show us the video of it?
Oh, yes. Let's watch the trailer.
What's that? I thought that was that thing.
What is that? Bring on the trailer.
Release the
trailer.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. And
let's go.
There is only one question that matters.
That is sort of unusual.
So dark.
Do you swear on your life that what you say is true?
I love true stories.
Well, that's it. You guys were.
My father told me my life would be blessed with good fortune.
I love this kind of movies too.
These are like action movies to me, but with psychological vibe.
I don't understand why this is not a bigger movie.
You say she's from Killing Eve? Because I've never seen Killing Eve.
If you saw Killing Eve, and the part she played, but yet I don't ever combine them. I don't say, oh, I still see Killing Eve.
No.
It's just like, you know what I mean?
No, she's playing it very sort of innocent.
Really? Because since I haven't seen the show, I'm
Jesus,
But
she's
Killing
a
Eve
soft-
It's the last season, actually.
The most
you should
unspeakable
check it out.
charge has been brought against you.
In fact, I thought she really
Jacques Le
carried.
Gris entered
Well,
That's why it's interesting to see
Sandra
that.
Oh in that too?
He
Yes.
attacked me.
And I
Who's
love
also
Sandra
very
Oh.
Oh,
good.
Sandra Oh.
Accusation is false.
I'm going to wait to watch Arliss. That's
Sure,
the first one.
absolutely.
You watch Arliss?
No, Grey's Anatomy.
The truth does not matter. There is only the power of man.
Not yet, my friend.
Should have settled
None.
quietly.
I'm innocent!
Todavía
I
no,
request a
amigo.
duel to the death.
If you lose, your wife will suffer dire consequences.
One of us has lied. Let us let
I
God
was like,
decide.
damn, she got some hair. It's not a wig, it's not her hair.
It's called
It's like,
extension,
she's got
George.
some hair.
Everybody had
life for
long
you.
hair
You were
at that
risking
time.
my life.
Probably be used.
Save your bride.
And movies will give them long hair.
What's that
I want to know who did it. Because we'll probably do it.
The penalty for bearing
That book reminds me that getting to see him who said those books.
is that you are to be
The
burned
books, what do they call them?
alive.
With the art
I would not
See,
be
that's
silent.
not a good preview.
trailer.
That is an odd trailer.
He doesn't show.
But I didn't hear the audio, so I don't know.
Right. I gotta work on that.
No, I don't mean for you. Just
Okay, George, that's you.
Okay, so let me get my notes because I can't remember what. So the movie tells us the events leading to a trial by combat duel on 29th of December 1386, in which the
Shouldn't it be 1686? Is it 13?
1386,
Wow.
in which the Norman knight Jean Carrouges. See, my French works here.
Yeah.
The letter, you can write the letters too.
I was impressed.
Duel squire Jacques Le Gris, Carrouges. So because Carrouges' wife Marguerite has accused Le Gris of raping her. When what's his face?
Matt
John,
Damon.
when Matt Damon, when he's away pillaging and plundering, because apparently you go, you're down on money, you gotta go pillage and plunder to have money so you can pay the taxes to the,
King.
to the king, yeah. So Matt Damon or Jean de Carrouges goes to King Charles the Sixth, which is like he's like 12 or something.
Yeah.
He looks very young in this movie. Yes.
He's seeking an appeal to the decision handed down by Count Pierre d'Alene, who Carrouges believe favors Le Gris. The Count kind of hangs out a lot with Le Gris, so when he gets accused, he kind of favors him instead. So so the duel is granted, and is whichever combatant is still alive at the end of the duel will be declared the winner as a sign of God's will. God decided you were going to win.
Innocent or guilty.
Yes, God decided you win. You won because God said you were right. But the thing is that if Jean Carrouges loses, his wife would have been burned at the stake as punishment for her false accusation. So that's the movie. No, and the movie starts with the duel, but and then it quickly flashes back to the main story, and it's told in 3 different chapters, and each chapter is from the perspective of each character, which is Le Gris, Carrouges, and Marguerite, and which I thought was brilliant actually the way they did it.
Yeah.
And so you see each version. The movie kind of the way they did it reminded me of Mortal Thoughts. Because that's Mortal Thoughts. Demi Moore and Glenn Headley.
Yeah, you said that.
Tell Harvey Keitel, who plays the detective, how the other one killed Bruce Willis, and they do it through flashbacks, and you're trying to find out who killed Bruce Willis. So I like that whole flashback thing, because it's from each person's perspective. I love the cinematography. I love those kind of movies. Yes. I love that gray with a bluish hue. It's just, and just going back in time. I thought the movie shows how women at that time they're just property.
Yeah.
Because Jean Carrouges sees that he was the one that was insulted because Le Gris raped his property. So he's, it's almost like the women are just secondary in it. So I thought that everybody was great. I love the performance of all the actors. It took me quite a while to realize that Ben Affleck was he was the count.
Yes.
He was the count. I go, that count.
I go, that guy looks so
I was like,
familiar.
Count Pierre looks like Ben Affleck. And
I guess it's the blonde hair
yeah,
did it,
yeah,
right?
the blonde little mustache thing. So it's basically it boils down to it's just really the movie is really a trial, and it goes back and forth to see who's telling the truth in this trial. But I thought the movie made some really good points, and one was how men perceive, certain how men interpret attention from women. I heard this all the time, where a guy goes, the girl just smiled and said, and he's like, she wants me.
Yeah.
So it really shows you how, and they genuinely believe it. They see it that way. So like, Le Gris, Adam Driver, he generally in the movies believes, and you see in the movie that she wanted him, and that's why and then you see it from her perspective, and you see it from Matt Damon's perspective. So yeah, I thought I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was. I thought this is a movie this is an Oscar kind of movie. I think it flopped at the box office. For some reason, it just did not get the also the attention. Yeah, didn't get the attention they want. But unfortunately, you probably won't hear about it in the awards. But this movie is definitely, to me, is an Oscar movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyway,
I was so surprised at how great this film was. I brought it back to one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Hero.
Oh.
All right.
The Chinese?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, it's so, the era of knights and chivalry, it's like, and Matt Damon as Sir Jean Carrouges, a simple, honest, maybe actually kind of almost, I don't even know the word. He's simple, honest, and maybe
arrogant,
stubborn. Maybe more like
to his
that.
beliefs. Yes.
Like
rigid, very rigid.
like a farmer. Like he's like a farmer guy, right? But he's very honest, and has a sense of what's right and wrong, and he's going to stick to that no matter what. He gives a fantastic performance. I think probably one of the best performances I've ever seen him give. He just is this.
Yeah.
Scott, he's kind of like, he's just simple. He's simple. I don't mean it in stupid. I mean simple as he has.
Simplistic.
This is right.
Well,
this is wrong.
kind of like innocent.
Well, no. I understand what you're saying because he has his values, his core values from his father is done, but he also is portrayed as illiterate. So
Right.
that's the
Yes.
odd thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But not stupid. Just
Simplistic.
No.
and as opposed to his wife Marguerite is like very educated
Erudite.
and
yeah.
had knowledge of a lot of languages. She was
Which
like
makes it, which is the conflict because Le Gris is also educated. He has
Yeah,
knowledge of
exactly.
languages.
Yes.
So she's this. He's so charisma.
he's
and
never
charismatic and
actually
everything.
met anybody
Yeah, exactly.
like her.
Right.
She's
You
only
know what I
been-
mean? She's
Right.
not. She is.
But she also
mental
met-
equivalent of him,
Right.
but she has no interest in him.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like he perceives that he has never met anybody like her, and he's just totally infatuated with her,
Right.
based on a mental. It's just so funny. It's like a mental connection that he usually doesn't have with women, but he brings it down
To sexualize.
to a sexualized thing. It's like
because
just,
that's the only way he knows how to relate to women at that. Men, that's how they related to women.
yeah. So it, like George says, it gives three perspectives of the incident that occurred. One of them is Marguerite's, one of them is Le Gris, and one of them is Jacques Le Gris. But this is really an issue of property rights because women at that time were property rights. Oh, and the other thing about her is she was unable to produce an heir. And that's very important in that time.
Right.
And this is where the mother, and who plays the mother? She's
Harriet
like,
Walter. She's excellent.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's
Mhm.
excellent
Yes.
in this.
Wow.
You know, but they're living within their times. You might say she's a bad guy,
She's practical.
but she's pragmatic.
Right.
There you go. Pragmatic's a good word.
You know, and living. She's not living now. She's living then,
Yeah.
and so that's how we have to judge her as living then. And she actually comes up with a solution for this. Remember, this is a true story.
Yep.
That's what's important. And this duel, I believe, is the last recorded jousting duel.
Wow.
You know, so the fact that it's true, I thought everybody in it was fantastic. To me, this was an Academy Award film. I don't
Yeah.
understand why it wasn't, but okay, that's me.
Well, it's sort of funny. I didn't like this as much as you guys did, but I have to admit, you're right. I think it's Ridley Scott. So first of all,
Love him. Just love him.
cinematically, it's beautiful to look at.
Yes.
Then you have the writers. You know, you have Matt Damon actually writing it with Ben Affleck, right?
Yes.
And like I said, the Nicole, what is it? Holofcener. So they wrote the screenplay, and it's sort of interesting because Matt Damon is actually very good playing, like you said, this sort of odd, earnest character
Yes.
because he has a certain kind of like I said, his values are there. What's weird is the perspective, like they did this Rashomon thing, where it's like you're going to see three different versions of the same story.
Love that.
Now, this is the weird part because I don't know if you caught on this, because this is the only thing I say to when you watch the movie. I tell you viewers, let me know, make comments when you watch this movie. If you watch it, it's going to say like the truth or the testimony according to one character, the truth. I think it said the truth according to, like you said, the what is it, Jean Carrouges, the truth according to Jacques Le Gris. I guess based on their testimony. Right. But then it says the truth according to Marguerite de Carrouges. Then if you notice when it fades out, the words "the truth" are just there.
They're still there.
Right. And I thought, okay, so
then
then I think, okay, is this Ridley Scott's way of telling this is the actual story of what's happening?
Yes,
right?
that's how I took it.
Okay, right.
I took it as the
Because
truth.
the thing is, you're right, the thing about this rape, because it's really interesting to see how the different perspectives of the rape from the different two first by the men's testimony.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the Jean de Carrouges, one thing should be mentioned. Jean Carrouges, Matt Damon's character, is being insulted because at first, for example, the dowry that he was going to get with the wife, because of the wife's father had to pay debts to the Pierre, the Count, who was played by Ben Affleck, said, okay, but that's my daughter's dowry. I can't give it away. He said, no, you give it away. And Adam Driver's character, Le Gris, is the one who's forcing him to do that. So then in turn, Ben Affleck's character gives the land to Le Gris. So all of a sudden, this slight to, according to one character, he's just saying, he's just insulting me every single time. Right. He's taking my property. And like you said, not only property, physical land, but property of my wife, right?
Yes.
Then you see Le Gris. And I love this because another aspect of it is they show the charging at a battle. In Matt Damon's story, Carrouges is leading the battle. In Adam Driver's story, Le Gris is leading the battle, right? So it's very funny how you see these perspectives happening.
Yes.
So it's not until you see hers, which is funny because she's not talking about the battle, because it still comes down to a question of rape. And that's what I thought was sort of fascinating, is the fact that even when they discuss this, Matt Damon's character has to tell people, you must spread this story, otherwise there'll be no justice. And the mother character is saying, but this is a humiliation. You can't spread this. And it's very funny because I mentioned this to Susie before. One of the best lines comes from the mother. Yes. Harriet Walter, who's playing Nicole de Carrouges, she's now a widow, so Matt Damon should be inheriting everything. And again, he doesn't even inherit his father's title to lead the army because that's taken away from him. But she says to the woman, she says, no, I want what's right to happen. And his mother just replies to her, there is no right. There's only the power of men. And I said, that sums up this entire story.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's exactly the two men, they're going to have to win, and they're the ones going to battle it. I did find it fascinating, though, that something I didn't know, that in this battle, the fact that her life is now on the line, that if her husband loses, so that means you lied under your testimony. So we're going to, I forget, they said they're going to whip her, I think, and then burn her. No, they're going to punish her first.
And it's going to take a quarter to a half hour for people to
and
burn.
oddly enough, that was the one thing in Adam Driver's, I guess his representation in the law is done by church people, because they're saying, oh no, because of this, you should stick to the church. And again, coming down to the same thing with Benedetta, how the men used religion as a major part of manipulating people's behavior. But, I have to admit, though, as far as a drama, I thought it was good. I just thought it was it was dull enough for me because the repetitiveness of the story. And I'm sorry, how many times do I have to watch a woman getting raped? That's another thing that sort of really disturbed me in a way.
It was a different
Compared to
rape
the
each
Stark
time.
brothers.
Well, but to me, it wasn't. I'm sorry. Physically, it was still happening all the time. So, but like I said, I think you're right, though. I think Ridley Scott, technically, cinematically, he always does a good movie. The drama is there if you can get into that. I do claim that you're right, though. I think the performances are very solid.
Really
all
good.
three of the main leads and even the supporting characters who have to sort of support each one. Like she has a friend, I forget her name. What was her name? Marie Tallulah Haddon. She plays her friend who actually has to testify against her because they're all talking about how handsome Adam Driver's character is. How Le Gris, or isn't he a handsome man? Which is used against her at the ceremony. The fact that she'd find somebody handsome. Right. What I do think is funny that at one point during her story, she's pregnant, to which, according to the men, a woman cannot get pregnant unless she gets physical pleasure from the sex. And again, this is
where in the world would
But
be.
wait a second, didn't we just have that recently when somebody was talking about abortion? It's like a woman can't get pregnant. This was recently.
Oh no, that I didn't know.
Yes, that the woman can't get pregnant if it's a rape.
It was rape. If it's a rape, yeah.
Yeah, this is recently.
Okay. No,
and when I say
haven't
recently,
heard,
within the last 10, 15 years.
So it's that kind of stuff they add to the story that really gives it to me some more depth. And that's why I can't just dismiss it as just like, oh no, I thought this was a dull movie. There is a lot of interesting things happening in here.
Well, you've all mentioned my points, so and that's the sad thing. But the one thing I did like is there's really 4 stories. You just don't see the fourth. Oh, you just don't see the fourth because it says it at the end. The truth. It's like in any situation, you always hear, two people fighting. There's each side, and then there's really the truth.
But the thing is, they actually really saw it that way, even though it.
No, I'm not saying they did. But most people, even up to in today, they believe their story because belief is a strong thing.
Yes.
But there's really always another story, and that's what the truth is a little bit of each. I felt really bad for Good Will Hunting guy. I just watched
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Jesus, I'm losing.
It was kind of Matt. It was kind of Good Will Hunting.
I had just watched Good Will Hunting.
1300.
And then the 1300.
That's a brilliant
he was really innocent.
That's a brilliant movie we should do.
And he believed in the system.
Yes. He's a simple man.
Yes.
And funny enough, all the haircuts, are true to that time.
Yeah, no, I believe that.
I always like the side thing.
I was like, what's up with the molly? That we gotta do country music now?
But that they wrote this, Ben Affleck and
they're writers.
And Good Will Hunting was a great movie.
Oh, they're great writers.
They really get into the psychological
and they
thing.
got
drama,
into
especially.
They
The drama is
obviously
definitely
did their
there, yes.
history.
Yeah. So I'm ready to.
This is your movie, right?
Yes.
I give it a 10.
I love that.
give it a 10.
Yeah, I love that. I give it a
I
10
give
too.
this a 6.
Another 6, another 5. You do know go 1 to 10, right? I give it a 9. It was an excellent movie, and it should be an Oscar.
It should be. You never know. It should be considered for an Oscar. But yeah.
Okay, so do your thing.
Okay, do my thing. Okay. So that ends episode 48.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, can you believe it?
Wow.
So you can hear us or on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Spreaker, and SoundCloud. You can see us on YouTube / or Twitch. What the Flicks Podcast. You can reach us if you have any suggestions, and I have a couple already that we're going to do.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, especially our Indonesian friends, that we have a new one that we're going to do next time. So, you can reach us at whattheflixpodcast@gmail.com. So that ends it for this week.
Send in your recommendations. We love it. And the people that we have, we will definitely do your movie.
Yeah.
So.
Do your boop bop beep bop bop.
Then we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.